I feel that because now sometimes I say the word vulnerable is a bad word. I don't want to be called vulnerable. I just don't, because I think, to me, and this is me talking, Miss Therapist. Now you can try to change my mind if you want to. I don't care. But I don't like being vulnerable. If you hide small things, then you start to create a culture. You start to create a pattern. And once you start to hide one thing, then you
All
go
right,
hide the
Evo, you
next
can
thing.
stop
Then
it now.
you're hiding this, and you're hiding money. If you're hiding money, now you're hiding habits. And then next thing you know, you feel comfortable hiding, and then you got a
Cut
whole
it,
separate
Evo.
life that somebody should have been involved in, and they might have even helped you make some better decisions in the things you were doing.
There we go.
So I like that how he put it, because sometimes we create patterns that only benefits our comfort level, but it doesn't help the other person making what you say a cognate decision about you. Should I pursue? Should I keep this going? Or should I red flag it and cut my loss before it gets any deeper or longer? You have to have that transparency, vulnerability, like we use examples about sickle cell, or anything else. Because if we start hiding little things and saying, nah, I'm going to keep this to myself and wait to see how it goes, then I might be more transparent with her, or I might be more vulnerable. Listen, she's not making right decisions. We're contributing to her not making right decisions.
Got to get somebody to listen first. And that's what I was trying to tell y'all earlier, bro. It's only a certain personality type that I'm going to be vulnerable or super transparent with, because see, I know better, bro. I know better. At the end of the day, like you said, it's a gamble, but in that gamble, there's a 90% chance it's not going to go the way you want. You got a 10% chance of success. So because that I have such a small degree of success, I'm only going to do it with the person that has the greatest chance of succeeding in that area. It's just foolish. It's foolish.
So would you say that the contamination in that part, it has to do with past experiences?
It has to do. So it's two things. It's past experiences, but also current events. The world is a different place right now. The internet makes things very, very accessible. My friend just showed me a video the other day. It's two studs, right? Two studs. They got into a little fight. They used to date. So the other stud puts a video out of her in a very compromising position. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Back in the day, you couldn't do that. You couldn't hold that over somebody's head. Now there's a lot of girls
they had gossip back then.
Yeah, but
you might not have the technology of video and Instagram, but you had gossip.
It's different from proof. I could always deny it when it's gossip. No, it's not, Carl.
Back then, it was the same thing. If somebody put it out there in the street and it ran a gossip mile, it was just as good as facts. They didn't give a damn about no proof.
So, Carl,
they really did.
So watch this, right? So it's kind of like dudes who go to jail for stuff that they didn't do, right? You can gossip about it. The consequences are all the same because perception is reality. I understand what you're saying. But reality is reality. You feel me? Perception can be reality, but reality is reality. There's always that girl.
But we don't live in reality no more. Most people don't think in reality because perception is winning. All you have to do is pick up your phone and say such and such on a video call or screen, and everybody's going to run with it. Why? Because remember, the whole thing that's feeding it is toxic behavior. We don't want to go to intelligent conversation. We want to hear the arguing, the yelling, the cursing, the screaming. Fuck all of that intellectual people acting like they got sense.
See, Carl, this is exactly why I said what I said before. That's why it does not pay to be vulnerable, because even if you're telling the truth, it can be. It's not. So what I'm trying to explain to you is,
you can't be absolute and say that.
Of course I can, Carl. I only deal in absolutes. I don't like the gray area. I just don't. It just doesn't.
So you're telling me that there's a dude running around out here, over 25, over 30, that can protect his vulnerability and his transparency to himself and still show interdependency skills and last in a long-term relationship?
Yeah, Carl, it happens all the time.
I would love to meet that type of dude.
See, you technically speaking, you've already met him actually, and I'm not even talking about myself, but you've already met him. But here's the thing: what I try to get you guys to understand is that I don't disagree with your thought process or philosophies on a lot of these things. It's how I was raised, but I am also in a position to understand that that system no longer works. It's kind of like me trying to use a horse and buggy on 95. It's just not going to work. Can I do it? Yeah, I could do it, but I'm most likely going to die because cars exist now. And a lot of the challenges
they got
that
laws preventing it from happening. You forgot that part.
Well, Carl, once again,
you can't take no horse and buggy on no 95. They'll pull you over.
You like a bro, you be cracking me up, bro. That's not the point, Carl. You're not a girl.
No, you can't bring past shit into current
Carl, you know that people, I've seen horse and buggy on a 95. I've seen it. That's like saying you can't drive at 100 miles an hour. It doesn't matter, Carl. People are still going to do it. And that's what I'm trying to show you. Things do not work the way they're supposed to work. They work the way that they work. You feel me? Yes, I know it's supposed to be this way, but it's simply not that way. So if it's like what Harvey Dent says in Batman, right? I'm trying to be a decent person in an indecent time. It's not going to work, bro.
I see people that don't. This is what I see. I see people that don't want certain things to work because they rather convince other people that it don't work, and this is how we're going to do it from now on. It's new and improved.
Yeah, that's called single women. They keep other women.
Listen, I'll be the first to say it. There is nothing anybody under 35 that they think is going to be like new revelation that wasn't tried already and done. We already thought about it. We already been down those rabbit holes.
So yeah, I'm sorry, Carl. Go ahead, man. Finish your thought.
No, I'm just saying that when it comes down to what will work with a relationship, interdependency, or getting along, or anything like, or even protecting your vulnerability and transparency, dude, there was guys back in the 50s, the 40s, the 30s doing the same thing, but they did it differently.
Okay, understood.
We can't sit here and keep creating. I'm not going to say we're creating new ways. Y'all creating new excuses to avoid. I think there's more fear going on with people than there is anything else. They're scared of commitment. They're scared of
and I would agree with you, Carl. No, I would agree with you.
That's where it starts right there. If you're scared of responsibility and commitment, if you're scared of commitment,
hold up, stop. Let me listen, Carl. Travis Hunter. And here's the thing, me personally, I think all of that media shit is controlled. So I don't even be buying that. But what I'm trying to explain to you is Travis Hunter was dating a girl. Everybody told him this girl was a bop. He is you. He's like, nah, we're transparent. I know her blood type. She knows mine. I'm going to stick with my girl. I'm not going to listen to nothing you guys are saying. I'm going to protect my queen. Dweeb. Now, as soon as he gets signed to the NFL, they haven't even been married for 8 months. I think it was 6 months into marriage. She divorces him and is demanding all of his money. So I'm going to ask you, Carl, what's sensible? See, the problem is the people you talk about that's 35 and under, they're intelligent. They actually have a brain. Why the hell? No, they do, Carl. They do have a brain. Because if you tell me as a grown-ass man, you're going to see that situation and not take heed to it, you would be considered a fool because you cannot learn. See what I'm saying?
So that sounds like some red pill bullshit. Because
what was red pill about that? They were right, Carl. What is red pill about what I said?
Listen, this is where people are creating new words because they don't want to show respect. They value their money over longevity, over long-term things. Listen, please process what I'm saying, brother. Longevity, investment, and long-term thinking. Why you think these guys came out with the word simp? You know what that word came out to be? It's not just the definition it is. They created something, some type of movement that said we don't have to respect them. You understand what I'm saying? We don't have to be responsible for them. We don't have to commit to them. That's what this is about. I want the coochie, but I don't want the responsibility that comes with it. I don't want the commitment that comes with it.
You're a checker player, not a chess player. That's okay though.
I'm a very good chess player.
Wait, but hold on. Let's do this.
Weigh in, JT.
What is it that what we're saying that you're saying that's not working? That's where I want to get to, and then we can go from there. What is it that, as far as what we're saying? Yeah,
it's real simple, right? Being overly transparent with today's women does not work, and I understand why y'all be confused. Back in the day, about 70% of the women were actually good women, and 30% was the jump offs. Now you got 90% of women be the jump offs, and only 10% are good women. And a guy, there was a video. He
I don't know where you get this from.
It's simple, right? What the dude said in the video was, he says, listen, the problem with you so-called good women is you chill with the hoes. You agree with the hoes. You do what the hoes say. You want the girl ship with the hoes. So all I see is a group of lions coming. I'm not going to gamble on which lion is going to bite me. You might be the good lion, but I'm not going to take that chance. You see what I'm saying? Because it will be mathematically retarded for you to do so. If you see a 10 snakes bust into the room, are you going to try to figure out which snake is poisonous? No,
brother,
you get out of the room.
All I see when I listen to guys talk, as well as women, all I see is people trying to establish what I call the Groupon relationship. Groupon. They want the benefits. They want to say they're in a relationship. They want whatever that serves them. There's no interdependency being taught by adults to kids, and definitely nobody trying to hear it or learn it.
So then, Carl, how am I supposed to have a successful relationship if that's what I'm working with, Carl?
Okay, so going back to, hold on, Carl. Let me say this. Going back to what you were saying as far as like over vulnerable, that don't even exist with men. Overly vulnerable for most men, we ain't even trying to get. You know how hard it is for a woman to get a man to actually be at that stage of, even when they call it vulnerability. So that's not there with us. That's why what we were saying, that's why what Carl was saying was where I wanted to see where he was going with it, because our honesty, it summons them to honesty. It's kind of like what you was just saying. That's why when you said this thing about cheating is deceit, right? So when a man
that wasn't the point though. My point was you can go through something really hard with someone, and the longer you have the relationship, the easier it is to handle. That was my point. So I got that.
Yeah, I got that point. But to use deceit is not a great great analogy, because cheating is deceit. Now, if you said something, it could, man, do you know how women find ways on how to either get rid of us as far as the dating prospect, or while they're in the relationship with you, to break up with you, right? They find things to break up with you, right?
Now we're talking about manipulation.
So when you're talking about cheating, no. But when you're talking about cheating, it's not good as far as with us as men. We've done it before, right? We understand that can break up your whole relationship. Like the 10 years that you were saying, that's a lot of time to be building with a woman, especially when you have children also, right? So when you are doing something as far as we had an agreement that neither one of us is going to give our body to anybody else on the outside of us, and then I break that covenant, that's deceit. So when she finds out that I deceived her, whether I told her or whether she found out because I got caught, it doesn't matter. That shit right there can end your whole fucking relationship. Will she leave immediately? No, that's even more dangerous. You do not want to be in a house with a woman that is scorned by you. That's the problem that we have. So it keeps you and it keeps her from being not only transparent with each other, but vulnerable. That's really the end of your relationship. It will take you 5 years before you even end that relationship. And guess what? If you have children, it's going to be taxing on them. They got to grow up with the bullshit that was going on. And then it's going to be taxing on the relationship. If you're married, now you got to do this divorce shit. If you ain't trying to get a divorce, now you trying to stay together. You ain't got a divorce, but you separated for 10 years. It's a lot of bullshit that comes with that. So what happens with us as men, as we get older, we understand that cheating is deceit. Once we got a woman, no, listen, because this is the thing. Once we got a woman that we are married to, it's up to us and them to protect that marriage from the outside forces. Vulnerability is a big step in that. Reason being is because this is the thing. We get older. This ain't dating no more. We keep getting, that's what I'm trying to tell people. We keep intermingling dating and marriage. One of the reasons is because our culture in America does not entail the real way on how to actually get to marriage. Date, courting. That takes family, that takes friend, that takes community to do the courting part. And then you plan for marriage, and then you get married, then you have children, and you start to build from there. What happens is that the way our culture is now, we fucking and we're enemies. End of story. Everything else in the middle is us lying to each other. There's no vulnerability. There's nothing that's in between that shit. There's no meat. There's no potatoes. That's nothing. It's just a bunch of motherfuckers out here. They scared now because all of these fucking horror stories of relationships. Now nobody wants to get married anymore. That shit is because we keep hearing the doom and gloom of it. Because for years and decades, it's been done the wrong way. I'm going to keep it 100. For years and decades, it's been done the wrong way. And now we arrived to this bullshit that we're in right now.
JT, this is why people got comfortable with, like somebody said in the comments, survival mode. Not too many people is in maintaining mode. Yeah. Because it's going back to what I said. And I said this to Dap before. I've said this on the show before, that a lot of these dudes is not trying to hear, let me meet your father first. Because you know that nigga gonna look at you and say, damn it, I was just like you. I can see through you. We are predators. Women became predators. We're only going after what we know we can get over on. We're not going for the challenge. We're not going through the hoops and all of that. Why? Because we understand where we're really at. Like you said, reality. Do we want somebody to know us better than we know ourselves? No. This is where overprotection of transparency and vulnerability comes in.
Oh, everybody wants that.
Hold up. Why would
they don't?
Yes, what?
Oh, they do want
I would rather my girl. I would rather my lady I'm saying know every piece of me.
Thank you.
And know everything about me in case I'm down.
20
right, but I'm talking about. Listen, Judge. I'm talking about mindsets. Yeah. The mindset of people running around here talking about against marriage. Fuck all of this. Like JT was saying, the proper order of things. We're trying to find cheat codes to get around shit, avoid shit, and everything else. Because it goes back to what I said about commitment and responsibility. I don't want to be the one wiping the shit from your ass if you sick. I just want to enjoy you right now.
But see, it's like
I'm trying to explain. Oh, go ahead, Justin.
Like I understand where you're coming from, but I also agree with JT. Things are not done in order no more because everybody's trying to find a quick way to get to where they need to be, like you said. But either which way, even with not even marriage, if you got that woman trusting you, back on what Dapper said about the cheating thing, if you got a woman even trusting you after 2 or 3 months, she put her whole trust in you, and you cheat on her, that difference between that 2 or 3 months,
it's gonna be that
10 years, that 50-50 thing. No, because either one, that 2 months, she can say, all right, fuck it, I tried, and walk off.
Exactly.
That 10-year shit, she ain't staying. If she does, she's staying to try to put you through hell.
Yeah.
Until you
after that song, listen, after they done cried themselves out and listened to Mary J. Blige, now all the times that I've been loving you, you've been loving someone else.
And this,
you know what I'm
this
saying?
this right here is exactly
they're gonna do
what I
you
was
something
talking
bad,
about.
bro. They're gonna do you something bad.
You can't.
Hold up. Think about this, fellas. Y'all are perpetuating. Y'all right now are perpetuating the same problem you had because you know our grandmothers stayed and they didn't do nothing bad to our grandfathers. They stayed.
That's a different mindset, different
era. Okay. Now it's a different mindset, different era. All of a sudden it's different.
No.
Look at it like this. Hold on. Look at it like
what
this.
we talking about? Our grandmothers stayed, bro. And y'all all know that.
I'm explaining to you.
They stayed through worse than that.
I'm explaining to you this. Grandmothers and grandfathers then had the maintaining mentality. Damn that bullshit. I did what I did. We're either going to stick it out or go about your way and I'll go about mine. But most of the times, like they came up like our grandmothers were like 50s, 60s, and 70s. Mm-hmm. Yo,
wait, how old are you, bro? How old are you?
I'm 47.
You 47. Carl, how old are you?
Method Man is older than me.
Man, it's your age, man. You ain't no damn girl, man.
Well, we all the same age then. Around about the same age. Method Man is like what? He 53? I'm 53.
Yeah.
So I'm 53, right? How old are you, Dapper? I am 53.
Man, I'm 40, man. You lying.
I'll be 53 in a couple of weeks. But
I told you was a lying ass nigga.
How old are you?
I'm 40.
You're 40. So yeah, so you right there with us. I was about to say, if you were saying that you was like 32, 33, your grandparents is my parents. Yeah. So, and you still right there. And they wasn't staying. Like I said, them baby boomers was not staying. Them baby boomers was getting the fuck on, bro. That was the beginning of getting the hell on. Them baby boomers, them women were out of there. They were leaving them in.
I said, my grandparents went through the segregation. They understand.
Yeah. So they had different types of struggles. So when you're talking about silent generation, they had different types of struggle, and you got to really understand this too. And a lot of people don't put this in the equation. They dealt with polygamy, right? Mm-hmm. They dealt with polygamy. Polygamy was a Southern thing, right? Like if you actually go and look at the ones that were born in the 1920s and 30s and, shit like that, look at the names. You will see that families were marrying each other. Mississippi, Tennessee, all these different things. And then you still had men that had more than one family because it was a different type of a mindset that they were getting out of it. But by the time you got to the Southern generation, the generation that migrated up to the North, they were still practicing that, but what were they doing? They were having, like the men were having women on the other side of town and stuff like that. The women were getting at a point where their mindset got to the point where they were like, I'm not accepting this shit no more, right? And then next thing you know, once those baby boomers started being born in 1943 and on up to 1950, 19 to 63, let me tell you what they were doing, leaving. Families were not the same. That was the start. That was the start. Then once you start getting into Generation X, we were the recipients of broken homes.
Yep.
Our parents had 9 and 10 siblings. We had 2. You had a big ass in our generation. You had a big ass family if you had 4. Yep. You had 5. That was a big family. In their generation, it wasn't. So when you start talking about that, it was a whole different type of thing. Where we're at right now is that we have adults that don't trust each other because of the doom and gloom. What we're saying is, I'm gonna end it with this. What we're saying is that it doesn't make it right because it changed. The mindset of the masses have changed. That don't mean that it's right.
Correct. See, y'all proving me right once again, bro.
Okay.
Y'all proving me. Everything you just said, it literally has proved me correct. What I was trying to explain to y'all is a simple thing, bro. If a man cheats on a woman, that does not give her a right to leave. Y'all can argue me if you want to. Try to find it in the Bible. Right? Just go ahead. So what I'm trying to explain to y'all is this. Back in the day, poly was okay because poly is okay. Period.
This
You can't
is where
tell
you.
me nothing.
But Dapper, this is where you went wrong at. This is where you went wrong at.
You know what?
You put two things that are not synonymous with each other.
Exactly.
This is what I was trying to tell you. When you're talking about polygamy and cheating, when you're talking about cheating is deceit. Polygamy is not. This is what I'm telling you. When you're lying to a woman and you omit things that you're supposed to tell her, those are two different things. You said polygamy, and in the same sentence you put cheating. Those are absolutely two different things.
This is
watch this, right?
I gotta ask the.
Go ahead, Carl. Go ahead.
I gotta ask the question.
If you said you do poly now, they tell you cheating. They see it as
the
the same.
question.
And that's the point I was trying to make.
This is the question. And I'm glad y'all caveated to poly, even though I'm against it. Your cell phone. How long you have to be around that woman before you say, you know what, I could trust her with my phone, my wallet, whatever?
Carl.
Who you asking?
Talking about, bro?
Carl.
That's the
Who you asking?
Hello. I'm still on transparency and vulnerability. How long do you have to be with a woman before you say, baby, here's my cell phone, here's my wallet?
What? Do that shit first day. I don't give a fuck. You can look through it. You look through it. No,
we have to have a relationship.
Yeah, we gotta have a relationship.
We're talking about a real relationship where if she got my wallet and she got my cell phone, let me tell you what we have right now. We're living in the same damn house. We up under the same roof. If she got all of that right there, we up under the same roof.
Exactly.
Because I need her to have that shit so she can have my back. No doubt about it.
What about you, Dap?
I mean, honestly, bro, like, I really don't care. You feel me? My wallet is one thing because, like, I'll give you cash, and I've had one of my girlfriends used to piss me off because she always used to take the cash out of my wallet. You feel me? But it's just what it was, because at the end of the day, if I assessed you as a good person, I date for marriage. So if I'm talking to you, I already feel like you wife material. So I trust much faster in my relationship.
The wallet is okay, but the phone is a no-go?
I never said that.
I
never said that.
What about the phone?
JT said
the phone is fine. I give girls my password. I'll put their fingerprint on my phone. Go ahead.
Okay, no problem. Roll the video.
I don't know why he asked that question.
You'll see in a minute. Roll the video, please.
Being out of the dating scene for a while, how do you know if a man is being sincere or genuine?
The interesting thing about being a former toxic man, the thing is, all the things that you guys said, thank you, because I'm watching these podcasts too. Thank you for telling me what you need a man to do and how you need him to show up, because I'm paying attention to that too. Matter of fact, I'm taking notes. You said you want to be a Proverbs 31 woman. I'm going to Google that under the table and say, yeah, I'm looking for a God too. I'm doing that because here's the thing. If I've always been toxic, I know that doesn't work. And I have to pretend to be something I'm not to get something I want from you. No man is going to come to the first date and say how he's going to use you, mislead you, and take advantage of you. No one is going to tell you their true intentions is just to get that and leave. No one is going to tell you that I haven't been in a committed relationship meaningfully in years, and all I've mastered was the art of the chase. So what you have to do is bring your discernment. It is easy to sit up here and give you some signs you should watch out for, but I watch these podcasts, I know what you're looking for, and I know how to pivot, I know how to pretend, and I know how to act like I'm something I'm not. What you have to do, though, in order to combat this, is you have to give yourself time before you get your heart involved. Let the weeds and the wheat separate themselves. To his point, there is only so long someone can pretend to be genuine if they're not getting what they want from you. You cannot fall fast and hard for men before you know authentically who they are over seasons of your life. You met this man in winter, you fell in love in winter. And that's why you keep getting messed up.
So you got jacked up.
Exactly. So just give yourself some patience.
That's exactly what I be talking about. This is the type of advice
I can't
that women get. And then see, remember how y'all was talking about the fair? When you a dude, bro, and you put bullshit out like that, bro, and these women are listening to it, you know, we like, no offense, but we all know women are not that smart. You see what I'm saying? They're too emotional.
What? Wait a minute. What?
Carl, stop it. We're talking right
No.
now.
We're not doing that.
Forget the chat. Carl,
yeah, but we're not doing that. I'm never going to say a woman's not that smart.
The chat. They're not. Carl, let me explain something to you, bro.
I don't care about the chat. I'm not going to sit here as a man. No, listen.
Listen, bro.
I'm gonna let. Listen. I'm gonna let you speak. But until you start having another female body, you got to carry like a daughter or stepdaughter or something. Do not ever say that a woman is not as smart as you think. I'm not having that.
Carl,
you just did.
Carl, listen to me. We fuck them. They're not that smart. They fall the same shit over and over. Cut it out, bro. You tripping.
Well, I'll tell you what. If they're not so smart, then stop trying to fuck them then. Hold on. If they're not that smart, listen to what you said. If females is not that smart, stop trying to fuck them then.
Oh, let me ask you a question. Carl. Do you want to sleep with
a woman? Come on, man.
Her brain, Carl? You sleeping with the girl that got an A on her test because she got an A on her test? You're tripping, bro. Chill out. Listen to what I'm telling you. We all know women are not that smart. Not because they lack intelligence, but because they make emotional decisions that override their intellect. This is why you gotta stay quiet for a minute so you can hear what
No, because that's still I'm standing on that. That doesn't make them stupid.
Stop it, Carl. Carl, stop it. They fall for the same shit over and over. Stop it, Carl. Stop it.
Man.
Like we're in the barber shop right now, bro. Tell the truth. Tell the truth.
I'm not. I would never say no shit like that. I don't care where I'm at,
bro. You be afraid of these women, bro. I'm not afraid of no. I'll be telling my mom that she ain't
Where have you seen me afraid of women? What are you talking about?
Because you ain't telling them the truth,
listen, you're trying to sit here.
Listen, you ain't never finessed a girl on her pum-pum? Answer the question. Have you finessed a girl on her pum-pum?
Listen.
Have you finessed a girl on her pum-pum? Yes or no?
I don't have to.
Have you ever finessed a girl on her pum-pum, Carl? Yes
I never had to. I never had to.
It's either a yes or it's a no.
I never had to.
See, this is what I'm talking about. You're moving like a girl now. Carl, it's a yes or no question. Just say no, bro. But you're not going to say no because you know that you have. You have, Carl.
No, why you want to tell me my life?
Carl, we are predators, right? We are hunters. In order for me to hunt an animal, I have to be better than the animal I'm chasing.
You're trying to project.
You got it, Carl.
Listen,
you got it.
You're trying to project a caveman mentality. Some of us died. We don't have to be predators. We don't have to go out our way. We can be fine with ourselves and get the results without making no real effort.
Okay, no problem, Carl. So let the girl propose to you. Let the girl approach you. Let her come and get your number. Bro, you bugging on me, Carl. This is why it's hard to be in a barbershop, bro. We trying to talk this minute. You over here tripping, bro. You tripping.
So can I get let me say this.
Come on,
Go ahead, jump in, JT. Go ahead, jump in.
Let me say this.
Emotional. I get the emotion. Hold on, JT. I get your point that they lead with their emotions. That's a given. But to sit here and say because they lead with their emotions, they're not as bright, that's an insult. I can't, as a man or as a guy, I can't say that.
So this is the thing, though. There have been many of women that we've talked to that will stay in relationships that they know that's not good for them at all, no matter what anybody says to them. They will stay in that relationship and complain about the relationship. So we understand that those type of women, they're there. They get on these panels, they talk about. You can hear it in a speech, right? So I understand exactly what Dapper is saying when it comes down to it. A lot of times they will look at it as if they're trying. This is where that whole "I'm healed" thing comes from. This is where that whole thing where they don't trust it. You know, once you get to hearing them saying, I don't trust a nigga and a nigga is this and a nigga is that, it does get to that point. Carl, you got to understand.
JT, stop, freeze right there, JT. Let me tell you something. You have brothers out here that are tired of so-called spending and wasting money on chicks. And you know what they do? They project that shit.
That's on them. That's on them. But this is the thing. This is why I'm saying what I'm saying. That's on them. Anytime a dude get to complaining, and one of the things that we say to the guys that we won't say that a lot of us won't say to the women is that you get what you get. A lot of women would get more sympathy with the way that they're moving, right? This is the thing. With men, we'll say, homie, you get what you get. You out here tricking. No, we not. I'm not tricking, man. And then you hear what they're saying. It's the same fucking thing. These dudes are, it goes to, again, you got to listen to what Dapper was saying. Men are hunters. And a lot of men are predators. The reason why we should be able to agree with him, if we got daughters, we understand exactly what he's saying on that shit, homie.
Thank you, bro. You tripping.
When I talk to my daughter, saying, this is what this goof ass nigga is trying to do.
Exactly.
If you want to be able to, if you can't vet that man really good, even if you think that you are, bring him around me. And if you can't bring him around me, then you know you're doing something wrong.
Exactly.
You know that you're trying to hide something. But if you want me to reveal the shit out of him, bring him around me. You know why? Because I'm old, but I ain't that goddamn old.
And I've done it.
And we know. This is what I'm saying.
And if she
but
JT, that doesn't mean that she's not that bright because she
That's
cannot
exactly
vet.
what it means.
Hold on, Judge. You cannot say she's not that bright because she cannot vet as good as a man. Because we as men are able to see through other dudes. Women, it takes a certain amount of women.
Bro, is discernment not based on intelligence, Carl?
Yeah, that's not what he's saying. That's not what he's talking about, Carl. Listen, I've done.
JC, hold on.
Go ahead.
Basically, you still got to come to the conclusion. We don't think with our emotions. We think rationally.
Thank you.
They think with their emotions. Because you could say she could be the smartest chick on the earth, but if you come at her the wrong way, that emotional part of her going to take over before her rationality comes in. You know how many times I've sat there and had to calm my ex-wife down because I'm talking to her rationally. She's in her emotions. And then when she go into her emotions, that take over. And then later on down the line, they sit down. Then they think rationally.
And shit, she got a PhD. She got a PhD.
I go with that. But what I'm saying, just that doesn't mean that she's stupid or not as bright or what have you. Just because they're emotional driven does not mean that their intelligence is so much compromised to call them dumb, stupid, slow, whatever.
But it's up to them it's up to the women to be able to delineate themselves from the ones that are dumb. It is some ones that's dumb, Carl. There's some they dumb as hell. And let me tell you, one of the things that we can see, they end up putting on video they dumbness, right? Yep. Like I did a show on a girl that was with a guy and she cheated on him multiple times. Not only did she cheat on him, she was documenting the times when they were, she was cheating on him. Then on top of that, they end up having a live together. They were sharing a live and they were talking about her giving him a STD, right? She's talking to this guy as if he's on an equal playing field. She's talking reckless to this dude. She done did a lot of reckless shit to him, right? It ended her life right after that live. Right after that live, it ended. So when you hear,
I give you a perfect example of what he's talking about, the Will and Jada situation. He sat across from this man and told that man everything that happened. I'm looking at you. When you look at Will, he's holding every piece of emotion back.
Yeah, that shit could have been dangerous, bro. We looking like, why would you do that?
Wild out and choked her ass right there on that damn table, or even afterwards.
So I understand what Carl is saying as far as like the ad hominems. I get what you're saying, Carl, when it comes down to it.
All being too sensitive. This the barbershop.
But listen, I understand.
Listen, hold on. This is where I'm coming from too. You say not too bright. That was the trigger for me because you know how much you've learned from people that's not too bright. So they must have been. This is what I don't want to take away. Even a person that you may deem as not too bright, slow, dumb, whatever. I'm learning a hell of a lot from them because there's a female. I'm gonna use JT's analogy. There's a female watching that female and say, "I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do it like that." So you learned something from a dummy. This is why I said they're not dumb. They're not dumb. If they're teaching you something, listen. If they're teaching you something, they're not dumb, bro.
Oh, you just double talk. You just said you can learn from a dummy.
No, I'm not double
If the dummy
talking.
taught you something, they're smart. Carl, chill. Let me explain something to you, bro.
I'm not doing that.
Carl,
I'm not doing that.
Carl, you're not God, bro.
I'm not doing that.
God did not make women smarter than men. Get over it. Get over it, bro. Sorry, Carl.
That's your case. That's your case, man. That's you, case, man. Listen,
Get over it.
You know what it is? You know what it is? You haven't ran across a woman yet that makes you think or believe otherwise.
I promise you right now, if I bring my ex up here,
hold on for a minute, fellas.
In every single math game you could play. My ex will.
That's not what I'm talking about. You haven't.
Hold on.
Listen. Everybody comes across someone that challenges them, that makes them change, that makes them see different perspective. A lot of us avoid that. We don't want the chick that is on the same page or better.
Carl, you're smoking reefer. I've never met a dude that didn't ask for that, Carl. You're smoking reefer. I'm telling you, you're crazy, Carl. You need, man, hold on. Let me go get the medicine, bro. You need, bro. Carl.
Yo,
hear me out. Go ahead, JT. Go ahead, Justin. Go ahead. Because you've been trying to say
not
something.
When you see men just as I see men getting emotional. What the fuck?
Hold on. That I have to disagree with you at some point. Some women are smarter than us men.
No. So I'm going. Let me fix what you're saying. There are women who are smarter than men, but not entirely. No, there's no way.
No, I'm not listening to what I'm saying.
Lord.
Some women out there are smarter than some of us men out here.
That's true.
I'm not the smartest person on earth. I've been finessed before, and I understood. I learned from it. It never happened again. But my whole thing is like what Carl's coming at is like how you say it. It's not what you're saying, it's how you say it.
Carl tripping, bro. I said exactly what I meant. Women are not that smart. It's just the truth, bro.
Well, guess what? I got some bad news for you. If you got a woman pregnant right now and she's having twins and she delivers the baby right today and hand them over to you, some men will freeze on how to nurture that baby. Why? Because it's not in a man's nature and purpose to nurture children at that young age. This is why the woman is smart enough to know what to do and how to do it.
Dogs nurture their children, Carl. Dogs, birds, turtles, rabbits. The dumbest animals in the world still nurture their children. Goldfish nurture their children, Carl.
Even the male animals nurture their children.
You tripping, bro. What I'm trying to explain to you is it's just a simple thing that everybody already knows. Men are smarter than women. If I took the top 1,000 smartest women in the world, they wouldn't even touch the top 100 million of the most intelligent people on the planet.
If you want to say men are so much intelligent over women, why these guys are still fucking chicks they're not marrying?
Because we're smarter than a goddamn woman. I'm going home, bro. I can't do this shit, bro.
Ow.
Carl, you're not helping yourself, bro.
No, I'm not.
You're not helping yourself, Carl. You're not helping yourself. I'm trying to help you, Carl. I love you, Carl. I'm trying to help you, brother. You're not helping yourself at all, Carl. Carl, you're not helping yourself, bro.
Let's get to the final thought.
Carl, you funny, bro.
Evo, let's go to final thought.
Wait, she said she had some surprise video, but it's damn near 10:30. Oh my gosh, boy! I love the convo. Listen, no, hold on. I love the convo, but I'm gonna say this.
Thank you, wife school.
You're not gonna like it. Like I said, when women are running around here teaching brothers how to get a CDL, teaching brothers how to get money, teaching brothers how to get a credit score, teaching brothers how to be men. It's very ironic.
That same exact woman.
I'm gonna say this. Remember, we all got mothers.
What that got to do with it, bro?
You want me to be honest? And they all was probably hoes back when before we was thought.
Thank you, bro. Thank you.
No. I'm gonna say, let me land it. The reason why I said we all got mothers, if women were more intelligent, this is why I'm still asking up to this day, all these years on Earth, why do we celebrate Mother's Day way more than we do Father's Day.
Because you were conditioned to, Carl. It was set up before you were born. They did that on purpose to make the mother the head of the household, so the father would be less respected. Therefore, the children would be retarded. Therefore, easier to control.
But hold up, Carl. This past Father's Day, it started to be a lot more different. Why? Because men start raising the question. We start speaking up, right? And women were speaking up too. So it's, again, that's one little, thing that's starting to shift. Like conversations like this is what we're trying to do is we're trying to shift the platform of relationships to a point where it can go back to the marriage thing. But as we talking right now, like that's why talking to Dapper, he's saying, hey, this shit ain't what how motherfuckers thinking no more, right? So we can't disagree with that. What we have to do is we have to figure out, along with the young. I thought Dapper was younger than what he was. You right here with us. Get the fuck out of here, man.
That's why I've been telling you they be messing with me, bro, because I'm the youngest.
He's the youngest. He's the youngest up here.
Yeah, he's the youngest.
Wild card.
But let me say this though. He's the youngest.
He's the wild card.
Yeah, but this is the thing. When you have this thing that we call the relationship and what they got, the market and all this crazy ass shit, man, it's going haywire. So what we have to do is kind of figure out. That's why I like the conversation we're having. But this is the thing. I don't want to get it. I want us to get to a point where we can have men and women to be able to have a shift in us liking each other again. This is this is the barbershop. But I guarantee once we start having women on the panel, it shifts because of how they look at us and how we look at them, right? And a lot of times it's starting to go to a point where we just don't like each other. But guess what ended up happening?
We don't trust each other.
There's a reason for that.
But we're screwing each other, and we're still bringing children in. Now it's getting to a point where you got the younger that Z and Alpha generation. The motherfuckers ain't talking about none of this shit we talking about. Fuck marriage and fuck. And the thing is that so when we start talking, man, we gotta give the pros and the cons of all history, the way, because with our parents, we were the recipients of their union together, whether they were married or not. And some of us, a lot of us, have some fucked up ass memories when it comes down to that. I'm just not one of them, but I can't sit back and look at just from my lens how things are, because I got cousins, bro. It was right in front of my face. They only had their mama. They didn't care. And when they did see their father, they didn't respect them. And I'm talking about men and women. And to this day, you got 40 and 50-year-olds that don't respect their fathers. One of the things that I can tell you right now, we're in this whole thing because we are in the internet shit and everybody on IG and TikTok. What you're starting to see now is young men going against their fathers, young women putting airing their fathers out, right? The thing is that they're also airing their moms out too, right? What we have to do with these conversations, and I'm just saying, we have to talk about things, and we do got to get into a point where the shit is going to be tedious on how we talk about certain issues, like what we're talking about now. It gets frustrating for us. We got to let that shit the fuck out, right?
Yep.
We have to let it out, but we also got to listen to one another to a point where we got an audience out here. And one of the things I want to do is I want women to start changing their trajectory, but they can't do it if we're not doing it ourselves. So when you have young men and older men, because let me tell you something. We got Dapper on here. Get somebody 28 years old. Get somebody 28 years old on this motherfucker. So Dapper be talking to them like, nah, nigga, I can't fuck with what you saying, right? Because they have
happens all the time.
Happens
all the time.
And women hear that and they see it. When they hear us calling each other bitch ass niggas and all kind of shit, they see that kind of shit. Y'all understand this, and I'm gonna end it with this. Everything we into, women are into. Nigga, we rap, you're gonna have some women that rap. We play basketball, you're gonna have women that play basketball. When you're in a relationship, when you're into certain things, that woman is gonna adopt that shit that you're in. Niggas be bowling, she ain't never bowled in her life. They in a relationship for 6 years, now she on the bowling team. Or she ain't never smoked a cigar in her life, and she got a nigga to go to the cigar bar. Guess what ended up happening? She's gonna do what he does because there's no doubt about it. We are leaders, whether you want to be one or you don't want to be one. Now, the thing about that is that we got to have some type of shit where we have boundaries. You know, like a lot of men, we lead women with the way that we move. If a woman wants a man that's out here and a thug and all that shit, because we complain about that shit. Oh, they want the brown nigga. They want the thug nigga. That shit's about to be over with. Them niggas don't even exist.
Goofy, but they smart.
Yeah. Them niggas wearing dresses and all kind of shit like that.
Not allowed, hold on, JT. You're not allowed to insult women on this platform, regardless of what
I'm calling it. I'm keeping it up.
Insult them because, again, my argument is not to insult, because there's not a dude up here anywhere that's going to say this about a woman. But like I said, that's not stopping you from trying to fuck them, have babies with them, or interact with them at all, because ain't no dudes running around here being monks.
Carl, what is that, Carl? That just doesn't equate, Carl. I'm sorry, bro.
It was insulting the way you said it, and I'm going to stand on that.
Carl, you're projecting, Carl. I've said this to so many women, and you know what they do? Carl, you know when I say this to women, you know what they say? They be like, "You're right." I literally had to sit the girl down and say, "Let me answer your question. Who's smarter, me or you? Okay. Who has more experience, me or you? Okay. Would you listen to a 5-year-old on how to bake a cake? No. Then why the hell am I going to take their advice?" Carl, it is what it is, bro. It is what it is. And what we need to do is stand on the truth. The reason that women are in the state that they are now is because we lie to them consistently. And not only do we lie to them consistently, the other thing that we do is we remove all their accountability. You cannot say you're smarter than me if you cannot be accountable for your actions, because your actions don't have to be intelligent, because there's no consequences, Carl. There's no consequences. You don't have to be smart.
So let's go back to what you just said.
I say this.
Go ahead,
They can't be that. Listen, you can't sit here and, like I said, the way you said it, because too many women have gotten the best of a lot of dudes. Because if guys were so damn smart, they would know how to avoid the traps.
And that's what we're doing now. But now you're saying those dudes are soft. Those dudes don't want relationships.
No.
Earlier. They're wise. They're not.
But it's the way I'm going to say. It's the way you said it, because it's the way you said it. Because, like I said, even right now, 2025, guys are still getting, trapped. They're getting played by women.
But I gotta say this, Carl. I gotta go, just like what I said to Dapper. I gotta go to what you're saying right now. You talk about these women being deceitful. Anytime we start adding the deceit into these, this is where the doom and gloom goes to in these relationships, bro. At the end of the day, just listen to men and women when they trust somebody. And because it's a gamble. It's just a fucking gamble, dog. There's no way around it. It's always been that way. It's going to be this way. Even when we're gone, we got to gamble on one another, right? But when you're talking about women being smart, that doesn't mean that they're smart. That means they're more deceitful. Exactly. So when we're talking about a woman, right? So it's not really hard for a woman to be deceitful because she has a vagina.
Now you're trying. Now I see what you're doing. No,
she got a vagina.
Hold on. I see what you're doing now. It's not about just being deceitful. When a woman can sit here and throw on whatever and get you to look at her, pay attention to her, come towards her, buy her drinks, whatever. Deceit, if you